Yeah, let me get rid of Qiom's face over here. Alright, we live though.
Yeah, please.
What's good? Alright, sick. Yeah, what is up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to the Ronin Rumble podcast, episode 2, name pending still. We'll see how that goes. Um, one day, we'll have it one day. You never know. But yeah, so I am your host, Higashi, and let's just do some more introductions. And we have our co-host, which is, yeah, over here, Qiom. Qiom, say what's up.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? I'm gonna be the co-host for this podcast. Already looking way forward to it. Uh, got some people I'm hitting up to see who else we can get on here, and we're gonna make this happen, y'all.
Yeah, no, Keelan's gonna help out a lot, I think, because for myself at least, I'm super like not very experienced in this stuff, so I'm sure he'll carry most of it. But yeah, in terms of like doing more introductions, kind of want to get more into the team and getting everyone to know you guys. So I kind of want to get into hobbies this time. So yeah, dude. I mean, I think like even between ourselves, we still like don't know each other like super formally. So I think it's like a good opportunity just to get to know each other better and whatnot. So yeah, let's start off with I guess Qiom can be a good start for now.
For the icebreakers.
Yes.
All right. Apparently, I'm supposed to yell because they can't hear me very well.
Oh no.
It was just trolling you, man.
Uh, they just
Uh-oh.
want me to yell.
Yeah, please let us know how the audio is, everyone in chat. That'd be great.
Oh, shit. I would actually believe more that Geoff is trolling me.
Wouldn't be the first time, right?
To make both people happy is to eat the microphone as you're talking.
Yeah.
That's the only way to make it work.
Okay. I guess let's see. Let me just ask like an icebreaker question then. What would you say is your biggest hobby outside of video games right now?
Let me see.
I'll go first.
We got some game on.
My biggest hobby outside of video games is probably a toss up between martial arts and writing.
Oh, I did not know that. That's cool.
You beat people up?
I know Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I know Taekwondo. I've done a little bit of Goju Karate. I think it's Goju.
Oh,
It was
cool.
karate that I studied when I was at
Hmm.
State. And then I also I took a lot of boxing. And in terms of like actual like weapons, I practiced this Filipino martial art called arnis.
That's really cool.
I had
Yeah.
no idea that Filipinos had a fighting technique. That's crazy.
Well, you usually use it with scimitars, but for the most part, when you're practicing, you use eskrima, which are like bamboo sticks.
Oh. I just imagine fighting a bunch of pandas and just
Dang it.
over the
Let me see.
Reiki.
All I have to say is, if you got hit with a bamboo stick or an eskrima stick, you would get hurt a lot. It really,
Oh.
really hurts.
Reiki, do you know who you are? You're a real life Mokujin.
What?
Mokujin from Tekken. You pick him and he's like the random character. Every round, he gets another person's fighting style.
I mean, it's been a while since I practiced, but yeah, I really enjoyed martial arts when I was younger. So when I had an opportunity to learn at school, I would just take it. And then when I was in college, I would just do more. Just kept learning and learning.
Nice.
All right, 1 second. Let me fix something real quick. I can do this. All right, we're gonna go offline for a little bit. Gonna go back to starting soon.
Oh, God.
No. All right, don't go anywhere.
Note to self,
Okay.
never play Apex
What the
Legends.
hell? What?
Wait, why do I see my
Okay,
map
is it-
visualization? Why do I see my map on?
Shut up, dude. All right, is this working now?
That's what is this?
Are we good now? Can you guys hear? Is it too loud?
That was like a random picture of mine from like Facebook from like 3 years ago. That was interesting.
Dude, that's what I was gonna use the default if you couldn't get your profile
Oh man,
or
that one.
your shit working.
That was a picture of me on my first day on the job as a bouncer at a club.
You were a bouncer?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, did never guess.
Me
We
neither.
got a lot of
Actually,
weird
me
histories
neither.
behind us. Jesus.
Yeah.
I always think of bouncers as like giant people who are mean as hell and just like, oh my god, you're
Okay.
quite large.
Oh yeah, like the guy from the
Yeah.
Green Mile.
All right. Cool. I fucked
Slide
up. It's all
up.
good though. We in there. Anyways, let's go back to the whole introduction bullshit thing. We
Okay.
were doing. Was
Damn, it's
it?
bullshit.
Just, you know.
Damn, hey,
What-
Reiki's
what
gonna
already?
kick your
Fuck you,
ass with
dude.
his martial arts if you say that again.
Dude, what? Dude, okay, what? Fuck you guys. All right, so especially you, Anthony. So yeah, I think James was starting it off, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot one more.
Yeah, basically hobbies and whatnot. No one heard anything that you said, so just go like just talk as if you were beginning and everything. I don't know.
Yeah, start all over.
Yes.
Okay, all right, cool. So my biggest hobby other than video games is martial arts and writing. I took a lot of martial arts when I was younger. A couple ones that I think are really cool are arnis, which is Filipino stick fighting. Oh, Jesus Christ, Geoff. And Taekwondo. I also took Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Jesus, what is he doing? And I also took capoeira when I was in high school as well. So that was really cool.
Let me ask a follow-up question. What was your favorite martial arts? Like the one you had the most fun with?
One I had the most fun with?
Mhm.
Arnis. Definitely.
Okay. Cool.
Let's go around the clock. So after Reiki, that'd be Crackfiend,
Sup?
the hype man.
Wait, what clock is this? Hold on a second.
This
Oh,
is
wow.
It's on the
It's the Twitch
Oh.
clock.
yeah, it's for the
Twitch clock.
stream.
Like,
Okay, okay.
I'm 1 o'clock. So
Okay.
what's your biggest hobby outside of video games?
trolling.
Oh my
Nice, I
god.
respect that.
Definitely
what, are some
trolling.
what are some trolling highlights that you've had?
Watch yesterday's Wednesday night fights and me talking shit to literally everybody that made it in the bracket.
All right.
No, I mean it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing to do, but the hobbies itself, actual hobbies, that's not trolling. Cooking is definitely one of them. I'm sure that most of you guys know that by now. I'm actually waiting for my second round of steaks today for the family because we had that first one 2 days ago and they want more. So
Nice.
right after this call, I'm headed to the kitchen to sear them some more steaks. And I've been doing that for Jesus since I was broke as fuck. So that was around, how old am I now? 35, 36. So when I moved out at about 22 and I was broke as fuck, that's when I started cooking because I couldn't afford any food. So that was sort of what started my journey as a home chef. And now here we are cooking for FGC events and feeding people for free.
So was that all like self-taught stuff that you just like trial and error, or like how'd you go about like making this damn awesome food?
No, it was all self-taught, man. It's always like, well, it's kind of like playing fighting games, right? You got to have some attention to detail, and it's kind of the same thing with cooking. Like you want something to taste a certain way, then you kind of have to like dig deep into like the techniques, how much seasoning you need to do, the types of seasoning you need, and all that. So, once you fuck up like a billion times, because my cooking was pretty shit for the first 5 years, you just end up getting pretty decent at it.
Nice.
Kind of like everything else in life, right?
Yep. Sounds like it.
Yeah, so that's how I got pretty decent at cooking. It's nice that it's actually really cool. Then from all this is when I meet real chefs, like people who actually work in the kitchen. They're like, "You're a chef." I'm like, "No, I'm not a chef. I'm just a home chef." But
Like just because you don't have a piece of paper saying you're a chef doesn't mean you're not a chef.
You're a chef, dude. You're
appreciate
definitely a
that.
chef. What are you talking
I
about?
appreciate that.
Are there certified chefs out there? Like,
There's
Oh
certified
yeah, I'm
chefs,
sure there are, yeah.
okay.
but there's also those hole in the wall chefs that nobody's ever
Right?
heard of. That
Yeah, I
cook
was about to
amazing
say. I
food.
feel like that's more the status quo then.
Yeah, and those dudes make motherfucking good food. That's all that matters to me at the end of the day, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
man, you
course.
satisfy people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Outside of that, I mean, other hobbies would be like, I don't know, doing shit for the community, because that's kind of fun. Sometimes I get to, benefit from everybody's.
Sometimes.
Just kidding. It's very enjoyable. Music is another one. So I played piano since I was 4. I don't play the piano as much, so it's a lot of vocals nowadays. Sometimes I'll make some tracks on my iPad using some apps and shit like that. So that's kind of like that's one of my. I actually just do a lot of shit, but cooking is the main one that you guys know. Music is my very first love before everything else came to be.
Nice, nice. That's cool. Let's see. What about Higashi, the
Oh
man with a
yeah.
plan? Higashi. What's your biggest hobby?
My biggest
How's that?
hobby? Oh, dude, being a weeb would probably be one of the high ones there for sure. Watching
Mm.
So
watching
if I
anime. I'm not quite as high up there as Holy Meister, but you know that guy's got everything. He's got like the pillows. He speaks Japanese.
That dude is weeb as fuck.
Yeah, dude, I
Oh,
can't
yo,
even
he speaks
compete with that.
Japanese?
I guess, yeah, kind of, yeah. He can't read kanji or whatever, but yeah.
Ah.
But yeah, watching anime, playing video games, of course. Obviously fighting games. I used to do like bead art, like like those perler bead things that some people would sell at conventions and whatnot.
Like the
So I
pixel
did-
stuff.
Yeah, the pixel stuff. Yeah, I did that for a while.
Oh, okay.
Oh
okay,
wow,
okay.
that's really cool.
I have like
Hey, Bisu, I can
a
read
huge
kanji.
collection of that. But yeah, I also like to watch basketball. When it was in season, I guess you could say. But yeah. Basically just a weeb. Play video games, fighting games, talk shit about Anthony, that kind of stuff.
Hey!
What's if you could give somebody 3 anime to recommend, like what would you give him? Like 3 general
boy.
anime that anybody can watch.
Black Lagoon. Black Lagoon
Yes.
is amazing.
Yes.
I've actually
that's
never
like-
heard of that before. What?
Oh, dude, it's so
Wow.
good.
It's a great anime.
Yeah, dude. It's got like a
I
main
guess I'm
female
fucking up.
cast and whatnot. And they're all badasses.
All right, I guess I'm fucking up.
They could
Dude,
all
you
kill
should
you.
check it out,
so
dude. It's really
you'll like
good.
it.
So Black Lagoon, Gurren Lagann, and I'd have to say
Yes.
One Piece, honestly. Like,
Yes. Yes.
One Piece might be
Thank you.
950 episodes right now, but it's so good though. Especially in the Wano arc right now, dude. It's so good. Oh my god.
One Piece is my favorite anime, so thank you.
It just keeps
I
getting better and
I
better.
dropped that one. I dropped that one once they went into like the cloud place. I stopped watching it.
You stopped
Oh,
this
oh,
guy?
that was like episode
Wow.
300-ish or something. Yeah. You
Yeah,
can
'cause I
catch
watched
up,
it
right?
I watched it when I was a kid. I missed a couple episodes, and then I was like, "It's too late. I don't get it anymore."
Dude, I feel bad for
What?
the people who watched the dub of it and like
That's
thought
what
it
I
was
watched.
trash.
Oh,
That's
those guys
right.
are ascended people. The 4Kids
Dude,
stuff.
yeah, dude, that
Oh, no.
shit is something else, bro. Oh my god, I don't. What was the stupid opening for that again?
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Yo, Luffy.
Oh God, stop.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh
That
shit.
grates my
That's
Should have
nerves.
continued with it.
Oh god. But yeah, that's basically what I'm all about. You know,
Nice, nice.
Weeb.
looks like
Next,
it's you, bro.
oh. Wait.
We're not skipping you.
Yeah.
It's
your turn.
that's it's funny. I'm the one that asked the question, but like I'm the one that has the hardest time with that question. 'Cause I besides video games, like it's a wonder how I freaking stuck to fighting games this long, because I usually have a really hard time keeping focus. So there's like a lot of little things that I'm okay at. Like I played a lot of guitar when I was in middle school. Like now I still have my guitar, but like I bought a bass because I was like, oh, bass is more fun. And then I borrowed my cousin's piano, so I'm like practicing that. I have a ukulele sitting next to me. Like I started
What?
I started drawing because I got bored, and like I have a camera that I like started like messing around with video editing. Like there's a lot of little things that I really enjoy doing, but I like having not just one favorite hobby, so that way I can like circulate between them, so I don't get like too bored with just one hobby. Yeah, that's
Nice.
my answer.
You know, I've kind of felt the same way. Like I want to do something, and I'll do something all the way to the end of fruition. And then it just gets too hard for me to move any further, and I'll just like cycle to something different.
Mm.
There was a time when I used to do that. Like I would do that with like riding, and then I actually tried to learn how to rollerblade once.
Oh, that was dude. I used to love doing that when I was a kid. One of my favorite cartoons growing up was Rocket Power because like I had like a skateboard, a bike, the rollerblades, and I would just be like, "Yeah, we're Rocket Power. Let's do this." And me and my brother.
Wiggity,
Like,
Oh
wiggity,
man,
wiggity, wiggity.
that was sick. Yeah.
Love that show.
yeah, it's
That
a
was
great
a
show.
fantastic show, honestly.
It was. It really was.
That was the Rugrats guys actually that made it, right?
Oh really?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm.
Gator Crispo, I believe it was.
Huh.
I
I
mean,
didn't
the
know
art
that.
style, the art style is very similar. So I just figured it was made by the same people.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It really, honestly, made California look like it was like a dream place to be. And
It
then
really
when you
did.
finally get there, it's no, I'm kidding.
Wow. Okay, thanks.
I'm kidding. No. But like, it really is kind of like there's a lot of shot for shots where like their fictional ocean side versus like whatever's close to San Diego's ocean side. So I don't know. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. All right, Geoff, what's your biggest hobby outside
Oh
of
goodness.
Let's get a good answer from
outside of
this.
video game stuff?
I was thinking about it the whole time, and then I realized I don't have any hobbies left other from like trying to convince people to watch Ronin Rumble at this point.
What
But
about
no,
Penny
it's
Simba?
We could talk about the past. We could talk about our past
Simba
hobbies.
is perfect. Yeah. One of my hobbies is erasing my internet history so that I seem like I'm the perfect human being that did anything wrong.
What do you mean, dude?
No,
Never going to escape that, bro.
Oh yeah. No,
That's
I've
it.
resigned to
Stay,
that.
dude. It's on the internet.
It's
Oh,
yeah. If you want to see my awful stuff, it's youtube.com/darksidejeff. Do a search for my best friend, my brother in arms, Darkside Phil. When you're on that channel, then
Hell
you can see
yeah.
a lot of really
Shout out
great
to Darkside
videos of a friendship blooming and then getting destroyed and then like becoming worse and worse over time. In fact, we never had a friendship. It's just things got worse every single time. So
It started from a neutral standpoint, like not even a friendship, just a neutral standpoint, and then it just deteriorated.
it all started back in 2010, I believe, when I claimed that Darkside Phil was dead because he didn't upload videos for like 4 days. And then he responded being like, "You idiot. I was just taking a break." And then from there on.
That's where it started.
I just kept,
Oh my
that was
God.
it. Yeah.
The lore.
That's-
And then there was that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm starting to kind of try to get into other games. I've been playing like Animal Crossing recently, which they just added the Easter Bunny, who just turns everything into stone eggs that are completely worthless. So that kind of ruined everything. So that game's dead to me, and I just bought the new Resident Evil game. Where a hobby I do have is watching all 7, 8 Saw movies in a row without stopping.
Are you excited
All
for
of
the new
them?
one coming out?
What's that?
What?
Oh yeah. I keep telling people that like they fucked up on the opportunity or whatever. They have Chris Rock as like the detective or whatever, and Samuel L. Jackson when they should have easily just turned like the detective into Chris Tucker and turned Jigsaw into Jackie Chan. And
They should have. They should have.
I'll look at all the reactions on there. That sucks.
That's great, dude.
Do you
Jackie
understand
Chan
the
as
traps that are coming in my
Jigsaw?
mouth?
Oh my god, dude. Hell yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So speaking of Saw, I'm really looking forward to being the mastermind in the Resident Evil 3 multiplayer mode.
Yes!
Resistance.
Yes.
We'll talk about
which
that
is
later as
flabbergasting.
well. We
Oh
will talk
my
about that
God.
later.
Ooh.
Definitely.
Picking on the nerd chick the entire time and just like letting everyone else live. That sounds like a dream to me.
Leave Velma out of this.
What is her actual name?
It starts with a V.
It's Vanilla.
Veronica?
I think
No.
it's
Valerie.
Valerie. I
I
think
like
it is.
Vanilla, but I'm going to call her Vanilla from now on.
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
I guess it's
Vanilla.
vanilla now.
Just name her ice cream flavors. There
Strawberry.
is friendly fire. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Not in the demo though, but the full version, I'm assuming.
I mean, you can kill people with grenades, but we can get into that later as well.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
I mean, that counts as friendly fire, right?
Totally.
Yeah, I'd say so. It just reminds me of the and I was talking about this earlier. There's this game that Ilphonic made called Friday the 13th. And so it was Jason versus the rest of the I don't know, the survivors,
campers?
or whatever. Campers, yeah.
Oh, that
And-
game, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic because the game actually had proximity voice chat. So as long as Jason was within like voice range of these other people, then he could actually communicate with them. So you know, my goal, I was new to the game, so I sucked at whatever, but I would basically just convince one of the campers to show me where the other campers were, and then I'd promise to like let them go. So I'd just constantly chase this camper over and over again and kill them. And the same camper would lead me to the next person. And I just keep doing that over and over again. And then when it's time to let them go, I just, you know, like stab
Kill
them
the last
in
one.
back of the head. So, and then I got an achievement. Then I stopped playing. But like, that was a fantastic game. And more creative games like that I really like. So,
Could flex,
aside
flex
from
that creative brain.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of reminds me of like that game Evolve as well, where it was
I
like
haven't
4
played that.
players versus the monster or something like that. It wasn't that great, but you know, it was a great concept. But yeah, I see a lot of that in like Resident Evil though, and it looks pretty fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great take on King of the Hill games.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
That's cool. Have you guys played Chaos Theory by any chance? Splinter Cell
No.
Chaos Theory?
No.
Not
Never
yet.
heard of
God.
it.
Never
That
heard
was
of it.
the most fantastic use of I guess proximity chat. So basically it was 2v2. It was mercs versus spies. And if you were a spy and you snuck up behind the mercs were like first person view, but the spies have third person. So they could actually see more, but they can't really fight that well. But if you were able to sneak up on the merc, you like voice chat would open. So you know, so like this is back in the old Xbox days. So like people were a little bit more unhinged, so they just keep repeating a word over and over
Oh
again,
god.
and then snap their neck afterwards.
That sounds like a really cool thing to do, though.
It was, yeah. Okay, Kento sees potential there. That's like,
Speaking of
Conceptually.
Kento, let's
Oh,
get
yeah,
Kento's
Kento.
hobbies. I'm sure he's got plenty, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about it, man.
Okay.
Tell us about
it.
Okay.
Open
so,
up.
What do you do?
well, actually,
are
so
you?
aside from like fighting games and all that, I mean, like I do modify and collect sticks a lot. That's another thing I like to do. Like this is one of my prized possessions, the Blaze Blue Central Fiction Wrap 4.
Nice.
This thing's
Play it. I wanna see this
lovely.
shit. I want to see this shit.
That's a lot of
Can you,
waifus.
It's amazing. I love it.
should bring it up a little higher because I think. Oh, never mind. That's a good spot.
Is it good as possible? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Anyways,
good.
yeah, no, it's an amazing stick. I
baby.
love it to death. I spent so much money on it. A little regrettable amount, but I think I think it was a little. It was pretty worth
every
it.
time you
But
buy
I-
something, you buy shoes in Japan with me, and then you're like, I regret this, and you're just
What?
like,
I didn't say I regret it. What the fuck?
yes, you did. The second day, you said, I will regret this, as you're like pulling the card out in front of the employee.
I'm regretting.
I am regretting this at this point of time right now, and I will in the future.
Sounds a
Well,
lot like
guess
Kento.
what? Guess what? I'm wearing them a lot, so it's whatever. Even
Are
though
you?
we're not able to go
As-
out anymore, unfortunately, but I did wear them a lot once I got back here, so that's cool.
That sounds like current regret.
Yeah, dude. As
See,
long as you're not like one of those guys who buys shoes and doesn't wear them, like all the shoe
sneakerhead?
heads out there, you know. I used to do
Yeah.
that actually as well. That was a
Yeah,
while
we're not
ago.
getting
But...
Markman on here.
God.
Markman.
Markman,
Markman,
you
but
get people
instead
who
of-
don't wear their shoes. What about Markman?
on the webcam, instead of it being Markman, is just like a wide shot of his entire shoe collection.
Oh my god.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, he has a ton. doesn't he?
I'm sure he has a fuck ton of
Yeah.
stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a big sneakerhead.
It was so weird. Like during, I was just randomly walking down Tokyo, and I see this guy's shoes just like gleaming, and just like it's just way different, and he had way different kicks than everyone else. And then like it was just Markman, and it was just like the number one way that I identified that was Markman, just randomly walking through the streets of Tokyo. So,
Yeah, we actually
It's the
did
shoes.
see him. We did.
oh yeah,
see
you were
him.
with me. Yeah.
I was with you. that was a really lucky chance there.
That was with Fubar
Nice.
too, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, Brian, what a god! I love that guy.
Yeah, he's cool peeps, huh?
All right.
Anyways, I actually have other
Okay.
other
else you
hobbies, dude. So I I actually ride bikes a lot. I actually even used to race back in like 2013.
Oh, that's
On
really
the
cool.
track and the track.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
I used to do that a lot. I'm actually just by nature a very competitive person. I even played like Mega Man competitively, like Battle
Which
Network
one?
4. That was my jam.
Oh
That was my
man,
shit.
that was my favorite Battle Network.
Yeah, like a group of my friends in middle school, we would all just hang out after school and we would just link up our Game Boy Advances and we just play for
Did you
hours.
use
Nice.
my game facts
You
guides
had a
on
game.
there?
You had a
Yeah,
Game
man.
Facts guide?
Yeah, go check out Mega Man Battle Network 6 and 1 and 2.
Oh, I might have looked at your Battle Network 6 one.
Oh yeah, you've
Nice.
seen it.
I
Okay.
might have.
You wrote
I
Game
might
Facts
have.
guides?
Yeah, man.
How
Way
many?
back in
That's
the day.
crazy.
Here, I'll link it in the chat. Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's
I
what we
don't
could have talked
I don't
about
mean to
earlier.
hide
As long
it.
as it's game
guides.
facts.
Game facts guides.
You could have totally done
Man,
that.
we're taking it all the way back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played also like just, the newer one, Mega Man Star Force, online a lot. Like there was a little forum that actually shut down. Yeah, I used to play that a lot. I got pretty decent at that game too.
Nice.
But like yeah, by nature I'm just a competitive person. So like whenever it comes to competing, like I used to run track too before I got into cycling and all that. Which is why I have like and my bike's just like crazy expensive too, but I love it. It's the best thing I've ever owned in my life.
It's badass.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
How was the Star Force, by the way?
Star Force, okay, the story is dumb, but I like the gameplay.
Okay.
They simplified the gameplay, but I think it was for the better, honestly.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have
Didn't
like
Star
rock
Force come out,
solid?
like-
Wait, what?
I was just about to ask if like Star Force came out like a couple of years ago, like 4 or 5.
No, like 2010 around there.
Wow, it's been
It's been
that
a
long.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a
Yeah, I
long
remember
time.
playing Star Force.
Jeff, you wrote this 15 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
That's
dude.
crazy. Like it's. I'm glad there's other people that appreciate Battle Network as much as I do.
Battle Network was sick, dude.
Yeah.
I ran a website way back in the day called EXEHQ.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I don't know if you might have remembered that or anything, but it was the #1 place to like download the anime. Back
Oh,
when I
wait.
didn't know what
I
laws
actually
were.
remember that.
Oh,
my
no.
god.
Damn, you ran that site, Jesus.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah, I was
yeah.
the founder of
I
it.
can't
I went by
believe this.
my first and last name were G. So
Oh man, hell yeah, dude.
Jeff is just like secretly in charge of like all the early 2000s internet stuff.
wait till I get to the game life.
Oh man, started all
Oh
the
my
pirating
God.
and everything. Hell.
Oh man.
The Pirate Bay was created by Jeff.
No.
Jeff the pirate.
Jeff the Pirate.
Oh
I played
man.
the 5th or whatever number it was.
I like the caption you have in your fact. It's under Blast Man. Burn to ashes. Whoa!
Listen, okay.
You
Listen,
can
I
only
was
read
like
it.
maybe
Oh,
like
boy,
12
everyone's
and a
gonna
half
like
at
this
the
now.
time, so
That's how you know. That's how you know Crackfiend's favorite hobby is trolling.
oh my god. That hurts.
Oh boy.
But copy and pasting that right now into the chat.
Oh,
It's right
God.
there.
Mods, please ban him.
Does he
Hey, you know that's what he says. That's what he says.
I've
It
got a
is.
couple mods. I've got Super Dude Guy, Crackfiend. I think that's it.
Crackfiend,
I may as well like add all of you guys as mods actually. Can you guys all like type something in the chat?
I'm already in the chat, bro.
Or just type something in there. Like, I think it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, type Higashi sucks.
Type quo ho ho ho.
I'm so sad right now.
Okay.
Hig boys.
So, Higashi.
How do you even
What do
mod
you wanna
people
talk
in
about
this,
today?
Actually, crap. How do you mod people in this easily? Oh, there we go. Is that it?
Slash mod.
Oh yeah, there you go. I'm a mod. Time to
Okay.
time out Crackfiend.
What's up?
I wish mods could like demod each other or whatever. That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
That sounds like anarchy.
So I could just ban
like
Crackfiend
anarchy.
immediately.
There could only be one.
James, are
My
you,
next Grand Blue name is gonna be Quo Ho 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 Ho.
Oh,
James, did you write something
I'm
in
gonna-
the chat?
I'm gonna update that guide and
Give me a
just get
second.
rid of that.
Oh, you got it. You
No,
got
no,
it.
keep it. It's the
There you
best.
go. No, not Lamer Boy.
Not
Not Lamer Boy.
not lamer boy.
Nah, don't give Lamer Boy shit.
Dude, that'd be.
I-
I could only imagine.
So
Okay,
I'm
but
sorry,
yeah.
I have a SNK announcement right now. Just got an email
really?
clarifying this. Might as well just say it right now. So I just like for everyone here to know that SNK apologizes for some in-game issues for the new patch, which includes Tam Tam Fireball, Yoshitora's middle quarter circle forward, and the overhead finish that when you kill someone with an overhead, they just stand up and act like everything's okay. They are fully aware of that, and they are working on a rapid patch. So,
Nice.
yeah. So just
Cool.
want to let everyone know that SNK does care, and a lot of the difficulty just came from like remote work under the coronavirus. So,
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
messing
That's
with
fair.
a lot of people right now.
mhm.
I
A lot of the
imagine
game
game
devs.
dev being like the one that's impacted the most because they don't like a lot of game developers don't have the greatest environment at home to do that kind of stuff.
No. Yeah, you have to have dev kits and all that stuff, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that a lot of them don't because you have to like whitelist it all, and I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to talk about that, but yeah, there's there's a lot of stuff, a lot of security protocols against that, so it just like makes work less efficient.
Yeah, especially if
Yeah,
you're doing a
pretty sure.
AAA game.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure a lot of those people on the dev team had to like just work in the dark and just like send out whatever patch and like hope everything worked.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's kind of scary.
But yeah, enough about the doom and gloom though. The since Geoff has to leave a little bit earlier today, I think. I
Dad
wanted to
gummit.
get on to the
I thought I'd be dying, but the coffee helped me at
Oh, okay.
9:30 p.m.
No, you're good, Geoff. You're good. You're Geoff the
sure
hero,
there's-
dog. You're good, dude.
Jeff the hero.
Well,
Suffering is my
either
goal.
way though.
Hey, Jeff, check the chat.
No,
Oh no. Oh no.
I definitely didn't see it already.
Oh god. Oh god. More quotes. But yeah, I wanted to talk about content creation right now though, because I feel like that's very important in this, like right now at least, because of like how everyone's at home trying to figure out what to do with their lives. And I think content creation is actually like a really good way to focus yourself and find ways to spend your time and even improve yourself as like just as like even a person, or just being a content creator on your own if you want to do it like as a career, you know, later on. But yeah, I think like since we have Geoff here, the master of content creation, I would say. But yeah, I mean, like basically, I'm very curious as to like, at least for Geoff, how you started and why did you want to make videos to begin with?
Yeah, tell us, senpai.
Sure. Okay. There's this website way back in the day that nobody remembers. It's called somethingawful.com. And oh yeah. And they would post this content that was like really funny because it was just awful, like not intentionally awful. And then there was this one thing that was called Game Life. And it was by these two dormitory kids that were increasingly awkward in front of the camera. Their names were Andrew and Alex. And if you want to find out more information about this sort of thing, because it goes in a lot of detail, check out Down the Rabbit Hole. It's a popular YouTube series, and they actually did a interview with me about Game Life.
I think I saw that actually. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
That was
that
good.
tragedy. Yeah, my favorite part was that like he was like, "Hey, could you just give me a picture or whatever?" And I gave a picture of my ex and I, and my ex just has this really stupid look on her face, and I was like, I thought I told him to crop her out, but I forgot to do that, and he didn't, and then it just showed in front of like a million different viewers.
Nice.
Anyway.
Very nice.
I'm sorry. So basically, Game Life. What happened with that was that the next episode I was just like, screw it, I want to make my own dumb video, whatever. So like I had almost no video editing techniques or anything like that, but I was using Windows Movie Maker way back in the day.
Okay,
You guys
I was about
remember
to ask that. Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
old
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
The classic, yeah, the classic. And ever since it was a review for Halo 2, and ever since then, just everything, it was just kind of fun, like playing dumb and just like doing dumb things and having people wonder if like I was like a real person or not. Like that was how I acted.
Like, does he exist?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I didn't know you
15 years
existed
old.
until I met you at Wednesday Night Fights. So.
Yeah, I thought you were a gremlin up until this point.
It tricked a lot of people, I guess. We tricked MTV because we were on MTV for a good like 2 months. We had
wow.
an actual show before the owner made a Virginia Tech type threat. So that was
Was that back when
yeah.
MTV was popping?
Yeah, that was it was on MTV too. So not the mainline MTV,
It's still
but
MTV.
yeah, it was there, and I don't understand how, but yeah, MTV was trying to get with the times and like viral videos, and this is like pre-YouTube and all that, so they were really just trying to grab onto whatever's popular at the time and all that. So what was it, like 18 years later, here we are. So 18.
Yep.
What was your
I'm
first
not that
YouTube
old,
video
15.
actually then? Do you remember?
My first YouTube video?
Which
it was
is
just
the
like
first one
me
that
making
comes to
fun of
mind?
someone in YouTube comments. What's that?
What's the first one that you would say would come to mind then?
Oh my god, what would that be? Like when I started actually creating my own content, I did the one that most people might remember because it had about 500,000 views. It was a Bomberman Act Zero review. That was just a complete parody of everything, like review related or
Okay.
anything. Do you remember Bomberman Act Zero?
Is that the one where he's like that buff guy?
Kinda, yeah. They took an edgy approach to Bomberman.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
an
about.
edgy
I have
approach to.
I have like a distorted view of him in my mind. Let me look him up.
Yeah, here, let me link it to the Wikipedia article. So if you check this out, this is what they thought would appeal to the kids.
Oh,
I
this
remember
one.
The Halo Bomberman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The realistic
So
Bomberman.
it got a pretty good score, 34 out of 100, which is pretty close to the games that I worked on.
It's not zero.
It's not zero. You're right. 34 points from zero.
No wonder I've never seen
Those
this
34
shit
points
before.
they could have had, not had, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, the gameplay was really great because it was just like 100 levels of Bomberman. And if you screwed up once, you'd have to start from the very beginning. And that was like the entire game. There's nothing special about it other from like edgy Bomberman. So
What the hell?
So when you made reviews then for this, like how long was your script writing? Like how long would it take for you to write it and then go through it and everything? Or did you not make a script at all?
Literally, it was just like, wouldn't it be funny if I was like pretending? Oh man, I don't even want to talk about it. Let's say just have my ex throw a shoe at me with like bloody tears running in the background. There we go.
So have you ever written a script then, or?
Yeah. So I started
Okay.
writing scripts around like, let's say 2010 or something like that.
Okay, yeah, so
2011.
you've done it quite a bit then.
But that's when I started actually giving a shit about the stuff that I was doing, which is like what Master Original was saying, the Zero to Hero Kami guide for Street Fighter 4. That was probably my first actual script that I put together.
Great video, by the way.
That took 2 days for me to shoot together. It's that sort of stuff is a grind, and I really didn't expect it to like take off like it did.
How many hours would you say that video took?
It was a full like 16 hours for 2 days. So 32 hours in total. It was a lot because I had no idea what I was doing. And then I was just like, after you hear the same stupid joke that you made over and over again, you kind of say fuck it. And you just take like the steroid injection thing or whatever and just like slip the entire thing in the like Cammy's arm. And then I'm like, I'm done. This is it.
Dude, that was perfect. That was perfect, dude. So like, would you say after the first one it got easier over time then?
No, it got worse and worse.
It got worse.
Each and every single one got to
Was it because you wanted to one up yourself though?
Kinda, yeah. So my next one after that was the TJ combo from Killer Instinct one, and when I first released it, I liked it, but then the content that I was working at Iron Galaxy at the time, and we were given an express copy of the OST. So I had that in the background, and then all of a sudden, everyone's saying that I was leaking stuff, and that was true. So I had to take that down, and something happened. So then that crashed. I had to remake that entire tutorial video all over
Oh.
again.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
So that was double the work there. And then I had the Hisako one that came out later, and that took a lot of time as well. And then afterwards, the R Mika one took about 4 days to create. And the Charlotte one actually took about 3 days to create, but I was also like not sleeping at all. So yeah, a lot of that was just like really suffering because I really wanted to get it out there as soon as the game got released, right?
Yeah,
Because like
you want to catch it
Samurai
when it's hot.
Showdown just released. What's up?
You want to catch it when it's hot off releases and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And I timely release meant a lot, and you know, like it paid off at the end. It did really good, but it ended up being like the really dumb videos I did, like the Mario Maker levels and stuff like that. That ended up really taking off. The ones that took maybe 6 hours to make, stuff like that. you
Yeah,
know?
sometimes it's like that. Sometimes the most simple enjoyment for people, if the game is like super popular and everything, like a Nintendo game like Mario Maker, for example, people just look that stuff up and it's like, oh, that was super easy. Why does this have like 6 times more views than the one that took like 40 hours?
yeah. It's random luck, but like I'd say the number one thing, or well, there's two things about content creation that are really important, and one is consistency. Once you lose your consistency, people can't really rely on you constantly making stuff anymore, and they're just going to go elsewhere for it. And two is to always make the content first and foremost for yourself, not your followers or anything, because like you have to motivate yourself to stay on top of things. If you're just constantly creating content that you don't have any love behind, and this also applies for Ronin Rumble and any online series or anything that you do in life that takes more than one try. If you are doing it for someone else and not yourself, then you will start to suffer. So either like your brain completely disconnects from the things that you do that are like making you popular, which gives you like a meaningless existence, or you just like end up losing motivation and then you lose that consistency. So always do it for yourself.
Yeah,
That's what I think, at least.
It's always really good to have like a team behind that sort of thing as well. Like for example, you have like Kento doing all the assets,
Yes.
and
yes.
that I'm sure that takes a lot of weight off your back and everything. Like so,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
like
Ronin Rumble-
having like James do the social media, Qiom doing TOing, and then Crackfiend being Crackfiend. It all helps
like
out.
that.
It adds up, I'm sure, and that's
Say that again. I didn't hear you. The first time. Say that again.
Crackfiend being, Anthony, or Anthony being Crackfiend.
Oh, thank you.
And,
Yeah,
I
just
like
wanted to hear you say it
Crackfiend
again.
and Crackfiend.
Crackfiend being Hype Fiend, or
Okay,
Hype Fiend being.
But yeah, no, it's actually super awesome because Ronin Rumble wouldn't have blown up to the point that it is right now if I didn't open up like the team for other people and start like desperately asking for help and all that. So once again, this is a repeat of last week, but yeah, thank you all for like helping more people realize the vision and all that.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, does anyone else have any like thoughts about content creation in
I
general?
think content creation is a really interesting thing. So a little while back, I did a whole bunch of tests while I was at Cisco, right? So because I'm a very analytics driven person, and so I started doing a bunch of content, mostly drip, right? So it's based off of me spending roughly about 5 hours on the laptop creating clips and creating my own tech with characters like Urian, Ed, etc., etc. And within those 5 hours, I created an entire month's worth of content, which I let just scheduled out every 2 days. And there were different types of content. Some were more educational, some things were a little more flashy. Each one had its own sort of copy, and they were all different types of lengths. And I sort of did that as a test to see how people would react and what kind of results you would get from that, right? At first, I had copied some people to see how that would respond, and then I would let it grow organically just to see the kind of what kind of impact it would have. So to go to Geoff's points about consistency, I find consistency being extremely important here, because when people have that expectancy for you to produce content, they get excited, they get hyped, and depending on the audience that you're trying to reach out to, would also kind of like cater the way you would want to build your content. So if you were building something to just get people to go like retweets and likes and maybe even follow you, maybe something as short as 5 to 10 seconds, very quick, very straight to the point, and very, like the big nugget of aha, right? It makes people go like, ooh. It's kind of like when I give you guys food and then like that first bite makes you go, oh shit, like that's what I want.
And then they start stalking you and following you everywhere.
Yeah, it's like where I go to every fucking goddamn major, and then I have people going to me and saying like, "Hey, if I money match you in briskets, I'll beat your ass." Like, what the fuck, bro?
Briskets?
This is a real story. This has actually happened. I've had fools tell me they would body me in briskets.
Nice.
When I travel to majors. Like,
I mean, that's
pretty cool. Actually,
that's a win. That's a win in my books. If I'm gonna money match you for briskets, y'all throw down some money for it. If you win, you get some brisket.
Do you
man.
have
Like,
cook-offs?
I follow
That'd be
them all
so
over
sick.
the menu and ask for brisket.
Yeah, so it's
Brisket.
so your consistency and what you love, like food is something I love, like I absolutely love. So I share that food with other people. I try to make that food and share with people so people get to taste the food that I taste. In the sense of what we do with Ronin Rumble, we want people to experience the kind of passion that we have for the people, right? The the camaraderie, the shit talk, the trolling, like the whole fucking 9 yards, right? Like being able to share that with the people and having them, react to us with the same thing. I mean, like I was in the chat, like you saw what I was saying in the chat. I was already trolling from the very get go.
That's content, right?
I almost timed you out.
I mean, you could say it's content. I mean, like if you can categorize it as content, right? I just simply see it as something as simple as me being me, right? I just want to have a good time with good people. And if we're able to spread that love a little bit more, I think it makes the world a slightly better place. Sometimes worse because I troll the shit out of people all the time. So I don't know, I don't know what it is I'm doing with people right now, but I hope it's good.
I mean, I think it speaks for itself, though, right? Like everyone loves your food and everyone loves your trolling. Maybe not everyone, but
no, definitely not everybody. I can promise you that one.
Not if you're on the short end of the stick.
Yeah. But essentially, but you still have to know what you're targeting, what you're trying to, what you're trying to portray. Like I know I'm going to piss some people off, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you have to be. You're putting yourself out there. Not everyone's gonna love your stuff.
Always accept yourself. Always be who you want to be.
Somebody tells you want to money match me in brisket. I was like, all right, where's the fucking smoker, bitch? You're gonna pay for that shit
Right now.
That shit, like why are you calling me out for them, bro?
I wanna extend the content creation question over to Kento because when it comes to content creators, a lot of people think about like, oh, people that are in front of the camera, they're on the mic, they're saying all this stuff, but like, after Kento, I want to ask Reiki about this because those two are really vital roles in content creation because Kento is the one that makes the stream look really fucking pretty. All those super nice graphics, transitions, stingers, all this stuff. That's all Kento right
so
there.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks great.
When it comes to stuff like that, oh, sorry about that, but it's kind of a two-part question. Like, how long did it take you to get to the level where you're at right now, and how do you feel about like all the stuff that you put out that like everybody like really loves and because not everybody sees like, oh, it's Kento, but like when you have a team like this and people are like saying like, oh yeah, like all these graphics were made by Kento, and like they see that like it like people can appreciate it and can appreciate you for doing that. So like how do you feel about like getting that like limelight a little more than other places? Because other places like you see really nice graphics and you have no idea who made them.
Right.
But like at least here like people know like that was Kento.
Well,
Which we fired 14 times.
That was Kento fired 14 times.
It's only 14.
Yeah.
That's 14.
Don't say only. Don't say only.
Reiki.
Oh yeah, are you working on your? Are you working on your counter, dude?
Kento, I need you
And
to
I
calm
took all of
down.
those to
because
heart, okay?
I'm gonna have to report you to HR if you keep talking.
You are HR.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Quick
Wait,
shout out to-
Crackfiend's HR.
Quick shout out to Reiki. I wanna give a quick shout out to Reiki because I started rambling and Reiki was able to type down the 2 questions. I talked way too fucking long right there.
No, that's cool. So, Kento, you're up, and then I'll go next.
Let's see. So for the first question, how long did it take for me to get to this level? Honestly, dude, like the first ever broadcast I've ever done was like it was for this melee tournament, like in Oakland, called Oakland's Very Own, hosted by Homemade Waffles. He was just
I
looking for
remember him.
someone. He was looking for someone to broadcast this tournament, and I was just like, "Yo, I have a capture card. I don't have much experience in doing this, but I want to give it a try and everything." And I used my MacBook. I used my Logitech like headset. It was so bad. Oh my god, that first broadcast ever was it was terrible. It was terrible, but we got that footage out there. Everyone was able to see it. And it was probably the worst stream ever. But like, you know what? That was the first step into the door, you know.
What year was that?
It was like 2016, I believe. 2015, 2016, around there. It was like around the time when I first started playing Melee, but I really got into it because like one, like it helped me connect with a lot of the college students in my campus, and two, it's just like having a social circle in general was really nice because I never really had a something that big as like the Melee community, so it was really cool. But yeah, I've been streaming like this for like about 4 years now. But what really got me to this kind of level, honestly, like, first of all, I actually don't make the graphics. Sentenshi does. Sentenshi makes the graphics. I actually just piggyback off of his graphics and add effects to it, or just like make it more
Okay.
usable for like my streams. I actually don't make any of the graphics at all. So I like, in terms of the presentation, you gotta really thank Sentenshi for that, because he makes
Yeah.
everything look amazing.
Thank you, Sentenshi. Sorry for not for not thanking him at first. Because I knew that you made a lot of the transitional stuff, but I
Right.
didn't wanna like cut his work short. Like,
Oh,
he does,
no,
he does
no.
amazing work.
Literally, all I did for that transition stinger was just take the PSDs that he gave me and just add little motion effects to it. That's all I did.
Oh, okay.
All I did. So yeah,
Hey,
it's
sometimes,
really.
I mean, sometimes adding like even the littlest things to make it better it's still like contributing your work to.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no. I'm not trying to sell myself short here, but also just like I'm not all that's behind this broadcast stuff. But
I
in terms
think
of, like,
there's one really, sorry if I interject real quick. I think there's
Okay.
one really, really important thing. Now I'll shut the fuck up after this. That we all can. God damn it, Simba. That we all can.
You see that butt?
Top
Dude?
tier content.
That
booty,
was
dude.
a perfect butt.
Oh, that was a butt shot. That was just like right there in my face.
it was.
You posted this as 18 plus stream, right?
Oh, dude, we're good, dude.
All right. So there's one unifying idea that we can all stand behind, and I think it's one of the reasons why our content production has stepped up so much, and the entire team, us six, and anybody else who is involved in our content, in terms of both creation and the operations, and it's that we want to personalize that experience and show them that we care about our product and we care about the people. I think it's like that simple. That's such a simple idea can help us to focus on looking at the little things, so that we can make these experiences more personable. And that's it. And I'll hand it right back to you, Kento. Now I'll shut the fuck up.
Okay. But yeah, in terms of getting to this level, in terms of broadcasting, like, actually, before I started working at Esports Arena, I was not good at this stuff, honestly. I was like, I knew how to get it started, but I didn't know how to make it look really nice and stuff until I started working at Esports Arena. Once I started working at Esports Arena, and I just took everything in. I was a sponge in the first 6 months of working there. I took in everything and everything I could, like every ounce of knowledge from there, and made it my own. And I probably even the director relied on me a lot because of that, because I was able to I was literally a second to him. And so, in terms of technical issues, I was able to solve it in a snap. I'm having a lot of trouble putting this into words, but
It's all good.
It definitely took a while, but honestly, the environment just changes everything.
Well, you're talking about taking it in like a sponge, and that's it's really important. You know, when you're trying to improve your skill base, it's in order to take in knowledge, you need to have people around you to tell you what to do, and you need to listen as well. That's super important, obviously. And the fact that you're able to do that, I think that's a skill set on its own. You know, being able to take in knowledge and using it to your own and adding it to your tool belt it's really important these days, because you can get information anywhere.
It's how you can use it.
Even now,
Exactly.
you've been learning a ton, just for Ronin Rumble and all that. I mean, you've programmed your own scoreboard essentially. You've been able to manipulate graphics and create it to do whatever the hell you want. I don't know. I thought that was really cool.
And change stuff during a live broadcast too, which is fucking insane.
No, let's not.
That's dude. Just doing this is stressful, dude. I can't imagine changing something on the fly like that.
Oh yeah, no, it's there's a lot of moving parts within a broadcast, and making sure everything's running fine is my job. I actually love doing it. The more and more I do it, then the less stressful it gets, and it's just honestly, it just gets more fun and fun.
It's that
It's great.
masochistic joy.
Hey,
No,
you
but,
learn from your failures.
Once
we
the
were saying.
broadcast ends, at the end of the day, you're just you just gotta give yourself a pat on the back. You know, it's you
And
made
you feel
this.
all that weight come off. You're just "Ugh, we did it, boys."
Yeah, that's
Well,
why.
kind of flex.
That's why. After every broadcast, I'm just celebrating by myself. You know.
I mean,
It's just
Sunday that was 11 hours, right?
It was 11
was-
hours.
And
It
you
was 11
stayed
hours.
up that entire night beforehand as well.
Mhm,
So you were basically up for 24 hours.
Yeah, I
Which
do that.
I mean, we're not here to shit on that or anything like that, but it's impressive, and that shows your dedication to your work.
I just want to say, just for everyone out there, that we do not approve of 24-hour stay.
No. No. That was
matter how
my
many times
choice.
I told him,
That was my choice.
no matter how many times I told him you will not work if you work 24 hours in a row, he did it anyway. So
Yes,
I am not a
Ronin-
slave driver.
All right, but on to the second question now. On to the second question. How do I feel about getting recognition for the work? It feels
And,
great.
let me interject there a little bit.
Sure.
So, I forgot to add this part, but how often do you get recognition for your work? In the past broadcasts that you've done.
So Melee, back then, I actually did get a good amount of recognition, because I just kept going to all the bigger events and streaming those, and making sure they had tapes on them, or just live streamed in general. Wherever, I've streamed NorCal Arcadian 4. That was pretty big.
Nice.
A lot of
wow.
people really wanted me to be there, and they wanted a good show, and they relied on me for that, and I delivered, hopefully. But yeah, I've done this for quite a while, and I feel like, honestly, just recognition with the community is enough for me, because all I'm doing is just giving the community a way to preserve tournaments. Honestly, I feel like moments like those are really important, in like a community's history, and that.
Yep, and it's really valuable. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I mean, go ahead. It's
I
fine.
was gonna say it's really valuable, especially when you look back, because there was that period of time where nothing was recorded. Like you hear like the stories about like old melee tournaments or old like super turbo tournaments, and like all like it feels like the caveman days, because it's like all you have is like word of mouth, and like it just gets passed down, and it's like eventually it's gonna get lost in time, which is really sad to think about. So that's why
Yeah.
like people who broadcast stuff, like they're so vital, because like you're preserving a little piece of history that you could see at any given time, which is amazing.
Right. I definitely feel like it's really important. Like our job's pretty important for that kind of stuff because like I'm gonna bring up a different topic. It's like StarCraft. StarCraft 2. There was this one guy that casted so many different like tournaments. Husky StarCraft.
Okay.
And one day he just decided to delete his YouTube channel without notice, and all of that history was gone.
Damn.
We have nothing to look back to for StarCraft 2.
Mm.
That's
Oh wow.
really sad if you think about that. It's like
No, that happens all the time, and people like remember when Machinima went down.
Yeah.
Oh
Even
yeah.
though like
That
99%
was
of
big.
those were awful videos, there were still pieces of our history that it showed where we came from. And when you get rid of that stuff, we have nothing to fall back on, and we could go back and they're like history books, right? You know, you don't want to repeat history. You don't want to repeat Machinima videos, so keep them up. You know.
I mean, if you put it that way, that's pretty bad. But
So Kento, I
Mhm.
wanted to ask,
Mhm.
when did you first doing broadcasting then?
That was
Yeah.
back in 2016, right?
2016 is what you said?
2016,
Okay.
2016. Like I didn't like.
So it's only
I-
been 4 years then since you've actually started doing it then.
Yeah,
That's
like when I started doing professionally was when I started doing it here at esports. Well, not here, but like esports arena.
But in general,
That's-
that's a lot of experience. So like,
Oh
In
yeah,
a little bit of time, yeah, like
Yeah.
that's
I've messed with a lot of different equipment. Because not a lot of people like have reviews or like any solid like resource to like look to for like in terms of like broadcasting and whatnot. And so like I've experimented with a lot of different equipment for these past 4 years, and I'm like understanding what's good, what's not great, like et cetera, et cetera. And honestly, it's been a trip, but I would do this all over again if I could.
hmm.
No.
That's an important thing
And
to say to
everyone
yourself.
appreciates it.
I think one thing that I just want to add to what you're saying is how important it is for you to have not only just like being able to archive, but being able to archive it in such a nice quality way. Whereas like, so a good example is like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I think that the gameplay itself was actually pretty fantastic, but when it came to presentation, even when you won, you just didn't really feel like you had that much of what would I say? You wouldn't have that much of a joy from it because it just felt like kind of a shoddy product, right? So I think the same thing kind of applies to your productions as well. Is that like because the quality is so good and people having their names attached to that sort of thing and being able to be on stream and being able to like see all the amazing assets that you've been able to create in like this dynamic motion program, I think that the amount of quality that or the amount of value that sort of thing has exponentially increases. So
I can
yeah.
agree with that. Yeah. Like honestly, dude, like for my job, I just want things to look great. I love making things look amazing. I love I love making the presentation good. That's actually very important for broadcasting. I can't just do a half-ass job. That's why I will sit at the same chair for 13 hours if I had to, in order to make sure everything, I mean the whole way, looks good.
Yeah, you gotta have pride in it, right?
Yes.
All right, nice. All right, yeah, that's Kento behind the scenes little shindig there. He's a hard worker. Gotta give him credit when credit is due. But
I
Vital,
appreciate it.
Yeah.
a vital part to content creation that
Yes,
not a
very
lot of people
important.
think about.
Mm-hmm. All right, so James, I think you said you wanted to talk about it as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like the question was extended to James too. You know, like because that's also a really important part. Like, you know, he gets the clips. Like, you know, we get to see those badass top 5 videos. Like, it's funny actually. Two of the things that I wanted to go into the lab and practice for Grand Blue, you put in the top 5 videos. So I was like, oh, I don't have to go through a 12-hour video, 11-hour video to find that one little part. Like, Reiki took care of that. And, like, you know, like just putting all the social media out, like it helps a lot of people be able to like see that. Like, if they're like just scrolling Twitter and they go like, oh look, there's a tournament going on, and they go on there, and then like all of a sudden, you know, like we expose somebody else to like this great community that we have, and that's like a lot of it is through your posts and all that. So so again, the two questions, like I'm gonna change them up a little bit, but with social media, like, have you done this before? And if so, like, how long? And if not, like, how did you adjust to having to be in charge of that? And also, how do you feel about getting recognition for your work, whether it's here or at other places or just in general?
Okay. I was actually writing a little bit of my responses so I didn't like go off in tangents. It's something I tend to do.
Tangents are the
But
best, man.
Hey, that's what podcasts are for, honestly.
Yeah.
all right. Well,
We'll edit it in post.
sure.
It's a live
So,
broadcast.
so for me, social media was something that I kind of just learned how to do just from posting a lot. My first really, I think, big use of social media was trying to create content for KOF 14 and also working with the KOF 13 community. So if you don't know, I'm a really big fan of the King of Fighters series, and I was watching my community kind of decline because the local arcade that I went to, Southtown Arcade, had closed 3 years prior to what I'm about to talk about, and also a lot of events were not running the game or not running in general, and people weren't coming out. So I was just really like frustrated. I really wanted to figure out like what can I do in order to like reach people and figure out what I could do better for my community. So I made a survey and I posted that survey on Twitter, and I found that I could connect more with people from all over the world that I didn't know I could do before. I got people from Spain to do a Spanish translation. I got people to do a Portuguese translation. I got people to do one in China. I got one to do one in Japanese. And we just worked together to kind of make this social media viral survey where I thought I would only get maybe 200 people, but I got featured on Shoryuken. And then I also got uh, a whole bunch of responses, almost 5,000 different responses from people all over the world that played King of Fighters. And what
Nice.
I found was that a lot of people use social media to get information. And prior to that, I was working with this website called Dream Cancel that was kind of the hub for information, at least in North America, for King of Fighters games. And I was really frustrated because I was working on the wiki, I was doing articles, I was helping out on the forum, but I wasn't reaching as many people. And I just felt like the more time went on, it just kept declining and declining and declining, and less people showed up. So I found, hey, a lot of people use social media, and it's much easier for me to teach people and reach people if I have more of a social media presence. So I started posting a lot more on social media. I started clipping videos on PS4, putting up videos for characters that people didn't see before, like in King of Fighters. If you look for videos about Tongue, there are a lot of the views for it are from me because I clipped a lot of stuff and was in the lab with a character that no one really played.
So I have a question. So when you first
Yeah.
started doing that, was that the whole point of it was for more outreach or just
Well, I wanted to reach more people and to show that the game was fun. and enjoyable. But in the back of my mind, I was practicing ways of reaching more people so I could build my community, because that was the number one thing that was driving me, was finding sustainability in my community. And that was getting them exposed, getting people to see the content of the games. And the only way that I could do that was figuring out what people wanted to see. And they spend a lot of time on social media. They watch very short amount of videos. I did the survey to kind of get that information. That's what the survey told me, is that most of the people use Twitter, but it's really hard to find Twitter stuff. So I learned how to organize stuff with. I had no idea how to use Twitter before, and then I was learning about hashtags. I was learning about organize things, and what would be the most likely situation where I could have people look for things and find them.
So, what would your advice be to
gain,
someone trying to do
to
that?
not
then?
just gain stuff, but to learn things about the game from the small little videos that I would cut. Fast forward about 2-3 years later, and a friend of mine, Gordon, had asked me to work with him. He works at Tenno Productions, which is a production company that works on a lot of different events around the world, including Evo. So he taught me a lot, like a whole lot, about post-production and social media. You have no idea. Like, I owe a lot to all the things that Gordon taught me about it. Not only that, he had humongous guides, like a whole Google Drive full of step-by-step guides on how you should do this or how you should do that, how you should cut VODs, how you should post a social media post, how you should organize things in YouTube.
Is that available like to everybody or?
Oh no,
Okay.
not at all.
No,
I thought maybe you like made a
thing
guide on like
Unfortunately.
some website or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like I've never seen someone put so much effort into teaching another person. Like, unless you're like an actual teacher, you don't see the effort that people put into their lesson plans and stuff like that. And being a teacher, I can see it, but like, you can see how much care that Gordon put into the guides that he made for people that would just be learning these skills. So I'd read them and be like, wow, this is really cool. And I would practice them. I'd practice and practice and practice. And he'd give me opportunities in different tournaments to like cut VODs or to do social media posts. And then I would work events. I've worked Evo. I've done Southeast Asia majors, mostly from my own home.
Wow.
And that's where I really started to learn a lot about making the content, but it wasn't like what I wanted to do, what I started off doing. And that's where Geoff kind of gave me a opportunity to do stuff like that. He gave me free reign to cut things that I wanted to cut, that I thought was interesting. And I usually look for moments that are really exciting, but I also look for things that are odd, like stuff you wouldn't normally see and stuff you would easily miss if you were looking through a 30-40 minute video. And I feel like what you're mentioning before, Qiom, when you said, if I had to go through this whole video to look for these couple of seconds, I probably wouldn't have done it. And what I found was that a lot of people don't do that. So the things that I focus on in cutting is primarily things that you wouldn't normally see.
Nice.
And I think that makes them popular, but when it comes to presenting things in social media, I'm still learning, and I owe a lot to Geoff as well, because from what Gordon taught me, I feel like I perfected a lot working with Geoff, who did this all for a living. So I've learned how to take my humongous paragraphs and turn them into smaller, more concise words, to use a lot more functions for social media like emojis and hashtags in a more effective way, so that I can continue to make them more consistent and people can use the search function to try and find them more. And just figuring out the best times to actually do them. Like, I've learned a lot about when the best time you should post things on social media and when's the worst time to post them, how to continuously engage people. And I owe that a lot to Geoff, and practicing with him and kind of listening to what he had to say about it. and just getting that good feedback.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty
fine.
interesting. Like how you can use like emojis and such like that, and that timing is so different, and how important it is.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's really weird that people are more receptive to images than they are to words, and it's what Geoff has mentioned is that the less that people have to process, the more engaging it is.
Yeah, I guess it's a free lesson for it. Sorry, 1 second, Kento. What was that beforehand? You made a.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
he's looking
chat.
at chat right now.
Shout out to Crackfiend, the best troll.
No, this one's the snitch.
He's snitching to himself.
Snitch bean. Snitching to myself.
Shut up, hype bean.
Oh,
You're a
this
hype
one
bean
here.
now. You're a bean now.
There's a lot when it comes to social media. I think Reiki knows because I've gone on these passionate rants while losing money in craps about how much I absolutely despise how certain like posts are formatted and stuff like that, right? But basically, you have to look at like social media posts as like free advertisement, right? You want to do something that catches the eye. So if you just have like a big wall of text or something that is barely formatted and just like one paragraph and they use all your characters up over there, then people are probably going to scroll by it. But you can increase your visual real estate by formatting it into like an easily followable list. And you could add color to your post by putting emotes there. And emotes are also a cultural thing too. So it's always really nice. And then just making ideas as clear and concise as possible. So the people like there's less chances of misinterpretation. And when people see a certain keyword, their stuff clicks and they become enticed to click on something else, that sort of thing.
And
But,
let me just add to that that kind of stuff is not easy at all. Like back when I would help run Wednesday night fights down in Santa Ana, I would have to like I would like help I would run the brackets, do the stream queue, but I would also post on Twitter about like upcoming matches and all that stuff. And man, it was I posted like the driest stuff that like nobody would click on because I'm like I don't know how any of this like I don't know how to like grab people's attention like that. And like it's there's like that like art and science to it, and like you just gotta blend it together. Because me, I'd just be like, oh, it's this person versus this person, catch it on this place. And it's like no, like it wasn't as good. Like right now, I think it's Chelsea, that's the floor manager for the SoCal. She is she is by leagues far better at social media than I am. Like she does an amazing job, and like it's really nice seeing that, especially since I was doing such a what I would consider a bad job at like managing the social media stuff.
Well, it's something you grow on, right? Something you
Yeah,
just get better over time, and then you just steal other people's ideas and whatnot, and just
Yeah,
making your own.
a lot of it is actually stealing and just seeing what works and then just kind of like putting your own brand on it. But one thing that, Reiki has done a fantastic job, and a lot of his posts have actually gone viral. Things that I don't think that I myself would have been able to word into something that would have been able to grab attention. So he's been doing a fantastic job with that sort of thing, and he's teaching me stuff too, just by me learning through example of what works and what doesn't and all that. But Reiki's been doing crazy good recently.
Nice.
Reiki, you do good.
I'm gonna hire him whenever I
Sometimes
post
it's
a
good.
picture. Whenever I'm gonna post a picture of my food on Twitter, I'll just take a picture of it, Reiki, and have him type up my Twitter post for it.
Can you write my whole marketing copy for all
I mean-
of my food posts?
I think that a lot of the time it's being authentic, because a lot of the time when people are on social media, they want to have a conversation with people. They want to look at things, but they also, I think the deepest level of engagement is when someone responds, when someone feels it necessary to just like type something out to say something to you. That's when you feel, that's what I think is what I really look for. When people are like, oh, what's that? What happened here? Or, man, that was super cool. You did a really awesome job. I want people to feel that way when they look at clips or they read a post, or I want them to think, but also to feel like it's open for them to engage. And that's kind of hard. especially when you only have about 200 characters to actually say that stuff. When I was writing articles, and I used to write articles a lot for video games and stuff, I could write as much as I want, and I loved writing, but it's so hard to condense all of those things in a really small space and it still had that same effect. And I really have a lot of respect for Gordon as well as Geoff. Just do an amazing job at it. So I just monkey see, monkey do it. Just practice and emulate.
It's going to be a lifelong journey,
better.
man. it is going to be a lifelong journey, I think, at least. There's a quote from a movie that I enjoy. Ocean's 11. Why use 7 words when you can use 5? And it's always something that ever since I saw that movie, it was something that kind of stuck with me, right? And it was sort of like my golden rule with commentary, right? Where how do you, especially in a fighting game where you don't have your lull moments, like if you're watching Dota or League of Legends, a match can last 45 minutes, half an hour. There's the dead time of some dude farming, whatever, right? You're able to sort of do fill commentary. You don't really have that luxury in a fighting game. The same way you don't have that luxury on social media sometimes. So how are you able to send out a message that's as concise as possible to the energy that you're trying to sort of send out and have them also respond with the same type of energy that you're looking for? It's a lifelong journey, and it'll always change. But I think it's a fun journey to partake on, because I think that's part of what makes life interesting.
Yeah,
I agree, and that's something that I'm gonna try and take to heart as well. Thanks, Anthony.
You're welcome. I say smart things sometimes.
Lectures by Crackfiend.
I say smart sometimes.
For Bean.
I smart sometimes.
I really like the
Smart
dynamic
Valentine.
between Crackfiend and I, honestly. Like when it comes to philosophy, like I'd say my philosophies are kind of hyper aggressive. But Crackfiend's is much more based in reality, so it kind of like balances itself out. So
You guys make a cute couple, is what you're saying.
oh,
No, sucks for Selena. But yeah, no, sucks for Selena.
I think she's watching actually. Hi,
She's
Selena.
definitely watching. Definitely watching. You've been replaced. I'm sorry.
Hi, Selena.
Oh no.
Sorry to you. You had to find out that way.
This guy, right? This guy.
Oh yeah, she is definitely in the chat still.
Oh,
God damn it.
And to get to the second question, how do I feel about recognition for the work? I don't know. Like half the time I kind of want to edit the Ronin Rumble Twitter to just kind of remove my name because like it's not me. Half the time I spent 20 Ronin Rumbles pretending to be Geoff. So
Nice. Could have fooled me.
I kind of feel like I'm still pretending to be Geoff sometimes, but also creating this different voice that's specifically this channel. This channel is supposed to be a separate entity, something its own, and I'm still trying to figure out what does that sound like.
No, it's really good that you're establishing your own brand voice, because you've seen my brand voice whenever I got on your account to do Vegas Cup stuff, and what lyrics did I just post?
I don't even remember, but I was scared, and then you posted something to Hanzo Gonzo, and I was like, oh god, no.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was just shit posting on his account.
Oh no.
And
10 out of 10.
to be fair, it was for the good of Vegas Cup, so that more people would pay attention. Oh yeah, I also got Arturo to yell at you, so that was cool.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
boy.
But I
Oh,
really
boys,
did
it's all
appreciate
coming
it
out.
because I could trust him to be on there and actually like make good copies for the tournament. It
Good
was
subjective.
one thing I didn't have to worry about during that really kind of chaotic tournament. So that kind of shows how much I really do trust him.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. That was misplaced, but I appreciate it very much.
It's not misplaced. Even when you make trolly posts, it's still really great.
Arturo yelled
Hey,
at you.
Hey, man,
They
like we were
would've
saying.
yelled if I wasn't.
Content is content.
Content is content.
I think one of the copies was like, man, this game looks so good for rollback netcode, but there's no rollback netcode. This is actually a real tournament. Check it out now.
Oh god.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't think I would ever say that. It's okay.
I was thinking, what did AK say? And I was like, this is the only thing he would say on repeat 24 hours a day.
Oh boy. Oh
Well,
man, that's good
sometimes
stuff.
I can be lame. I can be pretty lame. I'm always lame. I'm too serious for my own good.
All right. But yeah, anyone have any closing statements on like content creation and like how you feel like someone should get started on it though? Because people have time now, so I
Just
think
do
people
it.
can take what they want. Yeah,
Fail
that's a good
faster.
one. That's a good one. Just do it.
Just fucking do it. Make the mistakes. You learn from your mistakes. If you're guaranteed failure when you don't do it.
Yep. And the more you fail, the better that you get back up, right? Or
Yep.
that's how it should be at least.
You gotta
Yes,
fail. You gotta fail
100%.
with purpose.
Yes.
You gotta don't fail and get mad. Fail and learn.
Always learn from your mistakes.
Miss
I like to see
100%
that
of the
as
shots you
failure.
don't take.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
But I always added to that, but at least you don't look like an idiot doing so. No, I'm kidding about that. No, you really have to, like, that's what separates like a lot of people is the proactiveness of those making shit, like knowing that if you make a mistake, it's totally fine because you cannot make a permanent mistake with like creating content unless you go have a gamer moment. That's completely different though.
That's way different.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God none of us have that, right?
What's that?
Oh man, I've had my moments, but I would say that fail faster.
Yes.
Like I've heard this
Feel
on
faster. I like that.
yeah, well, I heard it on this show called Extra Credits, and they talk a little bit about game design. If you ever have an opportunity to check it out on YouTube, but basically, game designers are taught to fail as fast as they can to make something, get it to work, or try it out, and then if it doesn't work, get back onto the drawing board and keep learning. The faster you fail, the more you can improve, and the only way that you can start is starting. Just doing what you feel passionate about and keep going with it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Just like what Geoff was talking about before, if you're not passionate about it, you probably shouldn't be doing it. You should probably pivot to something else. But if you are passionate about it, go for it.
Yep.
I think it's such an applicable thing to really any craft that you're trying to do, whether it's cooking, whether it's playing fighting games, anything at all.
What the?
Why is Lamer Boy banned?
Now
That's like the guy that shot someone in the sea.
You
Who
shot
did this to
Lamer
Larry?
Boy, dude. Oh man. Speaking of Lamer Boy, actually,
Giving Geoff power.
speaking of like Lamer Boy though, I noticed that a lot of you guys have been playing the new Resident Evil game though,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
I personally I have not played it yet, but I do see a lot of people having a lot of fun with it, and I can see a lot of content from that as well.
I don't know if I would call it fun when you're supposed to save me and what you're doing is throwing fucking grenades at me twice. Not once.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta kill the monster though, right? You gotta. Sometimes you have to make a sacrifice, you know. What is going on? I don't know.
Geoff has become efficient.
Oh man,
Wow.
he's got that on copy paste now, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, let's not look at chat. Let's not look at chat. That's the onus of commentary.
Oh man. Well, there was this moment that Crackfiend was trying to take on. It's like the nemesis, right? Mr. X. Like what is that?
Mr. X.
What is that? Is that Mr. X? Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
he was on Mr. X, and he was like meleeing him or something like that. And Long.
I was just trying to run.
Okay,
I wasn't
you were
even trying
doing
to
that.
melee, I was just trying to run.
So you were trying to run, and Long just took out a grenade, and not a flash bang or anything like that, a real grenade, and just threw it at him, right in Anthony's face, at his toes.
Real life.
I was right. I was getting
And-
away, right? And then he's like, "I'm gonna save you." I'm like, "Who the fuck threw a grenade at me?"
I've seen Lamer Boy drop through the roof with Mr. X and just punch all four of them with one swing. Like it was, and he just like downed like two of them. The other two were like limping away.
I can see
But-
Andrew being really good at the mastermind, actually.
Oh, he's fantastic at it. Yeah,
Just
that was-
fucking with people.
It's fucking gross.
It's just mind games with him, basically. It's like, okay, well, they think that a zombie's going to appear once they open this door, so he just puts one right behind him, and it's like laughing his ass off like a hyena from The Lion King as soon as like they started like attacking them from behind.
So-
It's really good.
He was on like he was 10 seconds left, 20 seconds left in the match where Andrew could have just thrown Mr. X, or he could have done whatever the fuck he wanted. Instead, he would throw the zombies down so they would kill him so they could add 10 seconds to the clock, giving them a false sense of hope to actually have a chance in the fucking game. That's fucking 5 minutes.
Oh my god, dude.
Now that's a real mastermind right there.
What a guy.
Oh, no.
my
That's
God.
really just LARPing at that point. That's exactly what Daniel would do. And just say shit with his awful French accent.
Oh my god.
I want to hear Lamer Boy with a French accent.
No!
Oh,
No, I
Jesus.
don't want to hear him with a French accent. He is upstairs. He lives fucking upstairs. He could literally walk in my room right now and invade on this fucking podcast. You want that?
Oh, he could do that
Drop-
actually.
drop
He
down-
actually could
Drop
do
down like
that.
Mr. X, just
It's like, what's up, motherfuckers?
Lieutenant Fox is right. I don't need to even watch the Saw movies. I just watch Lamer Boy.
So can you do a 5-person lobby in there? We have 4 people playing as survivors and 1 as a mastermind.
not in the beta, but I'm pretty sure you
Okay.
can.
Oh, in
Yeah,
the if you buy the game.
If it's not available in the game, which is released very soon. If it's not available in the game,
18
I'm not
minutes.
playing that shit.
Dude, that'd
Oh,
be
shit.
that's a yeah, that'd be sad if you couldn't do that.
Dude, that would be so fun though, honestly.
Yeah, have
Yeah, it
a
would
private
be.
game. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you don't
don't-
get
I only
anything.
wanna play a
Actually
private
be
game with
able to
friends.
talk to the players too.
Yeah.
Like, in a voice chat and everything. Like
Yeah, actually talk to them. Yeah.
I gotta set my mic.
Is it sad that I haven't really played any of those survival games before?
This is the first one I've played, so
Same.
You're not-
Yeah, I mean, I've
I'm
never
not that
really
far
played it
off from
before.
you.
I still haven't played it.
I didn't get a chance to play Left 4 Dead. I haven't played what's that other one? Zombie
It's like Killing
There's a-
Floor as well.
World War II.
there's-
Something like that.
There's a lot of really fun ones. Like we used to do this thing called Pandora's Haunted House. So that's with PH, and we would play these party games like up to 8 or 9 people. So like Friday the 13th, Dead Realm is to me hands down still one of my favorites. Because you have like a ghost just fucking chasing you everywhere, and you have 8 people, and when you die, you turn into a ghost and you chase them. They chase them all. It's hilarious, and it's such a fun party game, and kind of creepy sometimes, but it's it kind of gets everybody involved. Well, basically it's like the video game's version of hide and seek.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's like zombie tag.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's great. Like, I fucking love hide and seek, but I'm too old for that shit. Now you can play it in a
Now you
video
can do it in a
game.
video game. Yeah.
No, you're not.
yeah,
It's
come on,
never too old to play hide and seek.
you've never played hide and seek as an adult.
Yeah, dude. Imagine
No.
being 6'11" playing hide and seek.
Yo, past 11
Pass the.
outside, like doing
Yeah,
hide and seek,
playing
like,
playing in a
shit,
park
like-
when
Oh,
it's like
God.
really dark outside,
That's
and then the cops pull you over and they go like, "What the hell are you guys doing in a park?" And we're like, "Playing hide and seek."
yeah.
All right, we're
Social
drug testing
distancing.
everyone.
Try explaining that to the cops.
Oh, they take me to jail.
In Walmart, oh yeah, that's a quick way
Oh,
to get kicked.
God.
Out of Walmart.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
you guys are enjoying it though, right? Resident Evil.
Oh,
It was,
yeah.
it was, yeah, it was pretty fun, man.
Would you say it's like worth just like buying the game just for that mode?
I think so.
That's what I did.
Mm.
So we'll see if it's worth it.
I don't have the funds for that, so I'm just not gonna
Yeah.
do it.
I
Wait to buy it.
personally, I bought the Resident Evil remake, the first one, and then I bought Resident Evil 2, the remake. I haven't actually played them yet. I've been watching other people play.
Oh, man.
Yeah. The last I played Resident Evil 2 was at Selena's place, and then she just kept making fun of me because I kept running into the zombies and shit because I thought I could beat them up, but apparently that's hard. But
Oh no.
it's
Yep.
I'm actually going to try playing 3. So
Mm.
I'm scared of scary games and scary movies, but I will actually give it a shot to try playing this.
Yeah, I'm not a huge personally. I'm not a huge fan of like scary games or like jump scares or anything like that. But
Well,
I don't know how
This
much
worker
that's
mode
in
doesn't
the
have
game.
those jump scares though. So
Yeah,
it's
multiplayer
fine.
mode isn't like that. It's just fighting zombies. It's not like a spooky kind of game. It's just like, oh, hurry up and get the
yeah.
shit done because you're gonna die.
Well, for me, like if I buy Resident Evil 3, though, I'm gonna play 3, like no matter what.
Oh yeah.
I have to take advantage of all the money I spent on that. But
Yeah.
and it's a game that everyone talks about, you know. So, but
Yeah, I was
Speaking,
gonna say Lamer Boy's right. You can scare people as mastermind for sure. Yeah.
just
That's
saying.
Just doing the most whack shit in the world and seeing how it works is kind of scary.
I know how. yeah. Layman Boy would have that. I'm sure he's gonna come into Anthony's room any second now.
Yeah, Lamer Boy made fucking Street Fighter 5 a horror game, so
I mean, his first victim was one of the best players in the world. His name is Xiao Hai.
oh boy.
Dude, playing Layman Boy in Samurai Showdown was kind of scary too.
oh yeah.
You say it for the guy who's the brother who lives right down here, and he's right there.
Yep, he's right there.
He's just like stuck on the ceiling right now, like duct taped to the ceiling with his laptop.
It's like I'm napping in my room. I wake up, his face is like right there. Hey, want to play Sam Show?
Oh god. Alright. So the last thing I want to talk about, this will probably be the last thing, but anyone have any good April Fool's stories or anything that they thought stood out?
Do you see the Daigo being an accountant thing?
So what? Wait, was that
Daigo
was that this year or was that like that was previous, right?
No, that was this. Well, actually, I don't know what year it was, but I just saw somebody post like screenshots of the video of Daigo being an accountant, saying that
Okay.
like Daigo's a challenger, becomes an accountant, and like he has a fight stick that looks like a giant calculator.
Ah, okay.
Oh, God.
I actually remember that video. Yeah,
Mhm.
How old
That
is
was
that
funny.
video?
it's pretty old.
It's
It's from like the 4
A
days.
while ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I had no idea. I just saw it yesterday.
Oh, nice. That's a great one. That's actually a really good one though.
It's a pretty nice piece of history, you know.
Yeah.
I thought. Well, I mean, it actually became real, but I actually thought that the Eureka game was a April Fool's joke, but it actually became a real game. So
Yeah,
I,
that was.
I think it started out as an April Fool's joke though, right?
it was an April Fool's joke, and then it was real, and then
Mhm.
it was like, what?
Yep.
Yeah, they got so much good feedback about it, and then they were like, "Well,
Okay,
not
I have a
just do it?
question. Did they confirm that the Guilty Gear Strive lobby things were
Oh,
was an April Fool's joke?
that's totally
confirmed that,
April
right?
Fool's. There's no
I
way."
saw it and I was like, haha,
Oh.
and I just scrolled past it, and then I like didn't think about it anymore. But like, some people were still freaking out about it today, and I was like, what? Didn't they like? I'm pretty sure they said April Fool's somewhere down the line.
Did they say that rollback was April Fool's or what?
No.
No.
Please don't say that.
Please never play around
Oh
with that.
no.
Yeah, that's just playing with the
That
consumer's
would be
heart. That's too
so
much.
bad.
Any company that does that would die.
Delay paste that code.
Actually, you know what?
Surprise!
That,
But,
that reminds me, I almost got yesterday. There was I won't mention his name, but he was talking about KOF 15, and I was like, I looked at the post and he said, "Oh, there's rollback netcode in KOF 15. It's a tag system for KOF 15." I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds
Oh,
too good to be true.
Oh
So I
no,
didn't click the
yeah.
link, and then I looked through the comments, and I'm like, there are hella people getting got, and it's like they were so mad. There's man emojis everywhere. So like, okay, this is a trick.
Do you think that
Yep.
would be good for KOF?
Rollback
active
netcode?
tag?
That would be amazing.
Mm.
No, an active tag system. Do you think?
That's KOF 11.
What?
That's a whole different game.
Wait, they actually put that in a KOF game? I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, shit.
KOF 11 it's a tag system. Like you literally tag out. You have 3 characters, and you can tag between them, and then you have a leader who can do like a leader super and stuff. It's a really interesting game. It was made by Thomas Wave, which is different than all the other people or Elith. I'm not sure. No, Elith did 2002, and Thomas Wave did 11. But yeah, 11 is great. It's fun. It's wacky.
I have to look that up actually then. I had no idea. That's cool.
Yeah, if you ever get an opportunity, play KOF 11.
Yeah, for myself at least, I saw the Capcom one, with all the cats. I actually
Oh, yeah,
enjoyed
that was
that
pretty
quite a
cool.
bit. I was playing that for a while actually. I like took screenshots of like all the cats and whatnot. Dude, that was great. I wish they kept it up. And all the designs are great. They made it into merch as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Key rings and shirts. Like I don't know if we can buy them, but I know they had a site for Japan at least.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it was probably Japanese the only thing.
yeah, those designs were pretty good. I mean, they have Vega, and like he's like you can see his back, and he's just clinging to the wall. It's great.
Yeah, I saw a screenshot of the Urian one, like playing with
Oh yeah,
napkins.
the tissues and whatnot.
Has an obsession with white cloth like things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was great. But yeah, I mean, anyone else got anything for April Fools that they saw that was notable at least?
Not
That's
this
it.
year because it was canceled.
Yeah,
It was
I
definitely
think April
canceled.
Fools was canceled this year.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
I got pranked.
Honestly,
I somehow got pranked.
By
Always
Labor
get
Day.
With the
pranked.
brother that loves that holiday. huh?
No, not the brother. It's an ex-coworker from Sandbox.
Oh.
Oh really?
He messaged me on Facebook and he said, "Hey, dude, I was looking at your stories and I saw some nudes. And what the hell is that all about?" And I was like, "I don't fucking use stories." And that went on for like an hour. Turns out he just.
But you do post nudes,
Just not on stories.
just not on stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, his OnlyFans.
No answer. All right, I like it.
Yeah. Check out Anthony in OnlyFans. Make sure to hit subscribe.
OnlyFans.
Half off this month.
Did you want to see my ribs?
Oh.
I get to see these ribs.
His OnlyFans is just a bunch of cooking tutorials.
Oh, that'd be sick actually.
So instead of DLC, we have
Get these pork
exposed.
chops.
Every year, I on Facebook, I would always post the same exact thing on April Fool's Day, which is telling everyone to just spam April Fools on everything without actually reading the content.
Without reading the content.
I got 2 posts in
you had to
before the
stop.
third one was like this awful tragic story about like this crime that happened because of COVID, and I was just like, yeah, April Fool's is canceled. So
Yep.
Nope. Not today. Not
Yep.
today.
Next year. There's always
Unfortunate.
next-
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep, next year. Next year for sure. Yeah. Anyone got anything they want to talk about before we end the show or anything like that? Any
Yeah,
shout outs?
Kento's fired.
Please sign up.
Yeah, sign up for the Ronin Rumble on Sunday. And
Yeah,
Saturday.
yes,
and
yes.
Saturday as well, actually. for
Everyone
Sandwich
signs up
Showdown.
last minute, and it's always like, do I need to have 2 slots? Do I need 3 slots? Who knows? It's hard. It's hard to get people to sign up because people want to do it like about like 1 hour after the tournament starts. So
Is it
it's
too
really
late
good
to
to do it
enter Sam
before
show?
it starts. What's that?
Is it too late to enter Sam show?
Is it too late to answer Sam show? Is the question of the
Yeah.
hour.
Is it
And-
too late to enter Sam show? So there's a gag behind this, and we did this on Sunday for like the time. And
was
I don't know if
great.
anyone else wants to explain, but I'm totally fine with explaining it.
Go ahead.
Go
All right,
for it,
cool. So there's this one guy that keeps asking every single week, like midway through our tournament, is it too late to sign up for Samurai Showdown? And you have to understand that drives Geoff completely bonkers. Like in chat, he's complaining about it. So what he did, which was
yeah, right in front of like
absolutely
800
great.
viewers.
was that he set up a Nightbot to respond to !Sam Show to do, is it too late to sign up for Sam Show? And we just went wild with it.
And that's how you alienate your fan base. But you know, the ones that participate are feeling more like family. So
I
it's a
would
good
like to
trade-off.
say that you alienated one fan base.
One fan. A base of one fan.
Yeah, base of one fan.
Yeah,
A fan.
Has he been doing it
One
like
person.
past couple weeks then, or?
yeah.
He's got to be
There's
trolling.
always
though.
one person. Well, no, it's a different person every week. So
Oh. But like it'll be like winners
He just makes a
finals.
new
And they'll
account.
be like, is it too late to enter?
yeah, let me just float you across, right into the money. Fuck it.
We were still running that shit when we were playing Grand when they were we were running Grand Blue.
Yeah.
Is it too late to enter Sam show?
See, next time somebody asks, is it too late to enter Sam show? Link them to next week's tournament.
Oh, I do that now. Yeah, I've learned to behave for once. So Of course they
Gotta-
don't do
gotta
it,
be the
and then they're,
TO.
they're
You'll trick
back
him-
next week
You'll
asking.
trick him into pre-registering, man.
It doesn't work. I don't think that they just because the same
We're
guy will be
trying.
next week. Like, hey, you know,
Oh.
I clicked on that link that you sent last week 5 minutes ago, and it looks like registration's closed. Like,
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Oh.
Yes. It is not too late to enter Sam show. Not
Yes, go
not
enter.
Saturday at least.
Or
And don't
is
forget-
it?
Or is it?
Don't forget, Sam Show is Saturday. Sam Show
Mhm.
Saturday.
Yes.
Grand Blue Sunday.
Don't get it twisted.
Please don't show up on Sunday asking if you can play in Sam's show. Please don't.
And if you do, make sure you at Reiki.
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna be
we made it
upset.
pretty clear that Sam show's on Saturday this time.
Yeah.
Saturday.
I hope.
Saturday.
Sam
Sam
Show Day.
Saturday.
Show
Sam
day.
show day.
Saturday. Saturday.
Yeah.
So
and
is
it's
this gonna be a
show
weekly
day.
thing then, Geoff?
Huh?
Is this gonna be a weekly thing? We're gonna
No,
have a.
no, it's
okay.
the plan is monthly. The only reason we had 2 in a row is because of the charity tournament. So we want to raise as much money as possible. But yeah, people are losing track of their days, Angela, you're right. But yeah, it's the next few tournaments are going to be sponsored by SNK. So after this, the prize pool might raise pretty significantly. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So
Nice.
we'll tease over there. But right now the prize pool is just $100 as always.
Nice. Cool.
Oh yeah, and we actually changed the way that prizes are being distributed.
Oh yeah.
Because East versus West really got hyped up, and it actually ended up being really good for both competitors and viewers. I think we are probably permanently going back to it. We just had the assets made for a top 4, which looks fantastic. Kento, you've seen it. Well, actually, everyone here's seen it.
Oh yeah. No.
it
It's
looks great.
amazing.
We're stepping it up. Yeah, it's really great. Our
Shout
designers
outs
really.
to Carrie. Shout outs to Sentenshi.
Sentenshi, yeah.
Tenchi.
We gotta get
You
him
guys
here
are
one time,
gods.
so
Oh,
we can
yeah.
talk about his creative
Yes.
process.
Should get more of the staff actually. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We still have a lot more stuff. Ooh, looks like Resident Evil's up. I'm gone. No.
Later.
Oh, 9 o'clock.
Yeah. But
Check it,
so
Andrew.
the way that the prizes are working now is we are it's only 2 people get money this time, and it's the champions of both coasts. But we are making the West Coast and East Coast fight each other in first 3, and whoever wins that gets 60% of the money, and the loser gets 40%. So there's just a lot more higher stakes on the line there. We could have done it so that it's like 10%, 10%, 20%, and then 60%, because we want to stick to 60% for first place, right? And that's pretty much the only way. But 20% for losing 40% over a cross-country connection that could or could not be bad just seems like a little bit too high risk. So let's
Seems fair. Seems fair for sure.
yeah, and obviously that's not permanent. We could always change to whatever will work better. But yeah,
Yeah, we've changed a lot about Ronin Rumble over the past how long has it been now? It's
Almost a
July
year.
2017.
Yeah,
19. Whoops.
almost
No, no.
2017.
27.
The secret years of Ronin Rumble.
We've the one cool thing about owning like your own brand is just being able to experiment and do things that you think would work better. And we definitely wanted a region split for quite some time, and then we were thinking that we were just going to split the tournament into 2 different days, but then like there'd be a lot less people entered. But then I don't know, one day like in the middle Grand Blue, Qiom was there. I was like, what if we just ran 2 tournaments? It's the same amount of work anyway. And then that worked. So,
I mean, we got
took
the
a little bit of
logistics down,
logistics, but-
so
yeah.
Yep.
The only problem is having multiple bracket resets because of grand finals, but that's just something that we prep top 8 for. And, top 8 is usually very seasoned commentators, so they're used to suffering. So there you go. It's perfect.
Yep. Everybody's happy or everybody's suffering.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
yeah.
much.
The suffering
Suffering
is
or
such
happy.
sweet sorrow. Have you heard that?
This is a
All right.
classic.
All right. Great. Yeah, sign up. Do not forget to sign up, please. And Samurai Showdown's on Saturday with Grand Blue on Bean on Sunday. And yeah, so I think we got through all of some stuff that we wanted to go through today. But yeah. Make sure to check out the Patreon as well. We do have a Patreon. We've got merch as well on Teespring.
Oh yeah, the merch is sick.
Yeah, the merch is very nice actually. I wish I
can't
had
wait
something
for it to
ready for
arrive.
that, but I don't. So
I didn't even order your shirt yet. Oops.
oh, thanks, Anthony.
I gotta do that now. Actually, I do it after the steaks. I'll do it after the steaks. I gotta take care of the steaks first. Family's hungry.
Oh yeah,
boy.
it's kind of late now.
Yeah, it is
9
pretty
o'clock,
late.
dog.
I finished making dinner too.
Nice. Yeah, we're all cooking now more. That's
Yep.
that's a good
Good.
thing,
Cooking
right?
is a
We
good
had
skill.
to. We have
Do it.
to.
Everybody should do it. It's a great skill to have, and it's cheaper.
Mhm. Yep. Unless
should teach me.
unless you're just a bad cook, then but yeah, anyways, shout out to everyone though for joining us today and keeping the chat lively. It's always good to see all the jokes and whatnot and all the shit talking that we see.
Yeah,
Especially Geoff just banning Lama Boy
Oh, he deserves
constantly.
it.
Can we do that again? Actually, one more time.
Okay, yeah, one more time.
One more time for the
Someone
culture.
else do it for me.
All right,
one more time for
Crackfiend,
the
ban your
Philip Howard.
brother.
Tough, please. This is too easy. Oh shit, that's not wrong. That's the wrong person. I wasn't trying to ban him.
Okay.
Oh no.
You didn't ban
Someone
anyone
was
yet
gonna come in
though.
with a suplex.
There we go.
There we go.
There
Yeah.
go.
Get fucked, dude.
Wow. Wow.
All right, the question is,
So much hate.
how do I unban him now?
Unban, don't.
How do I unban him? Alright. Yeah, no, thank you for joining everyone. It's
Why's your brother want to fuck my cat's fat?
Dude, never diss on Simba. Like Simba is the best. You
Simba's living a very happy.
Alright.
yet
We need to make sure
gonna
that
be
we
cut short
unban
life,
him.
so.
Wait, okay, he's not banned, right? Alright.
All right, okay.
Alright, cool. Great. Yeah, no, thank you for joining. And we'll probably try to do this on a weekly basis. We're basically just hanging out anyways, so. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Later, guys.
Put Vera
Yeah.
in Grand Blue versus, please.
Is that
Thank you.
Blanca?
Yeah.
No.